Hello everyone and welcome to Thought Soup. This is episode number 8 and today I'm going to talk about the difference between understanding and realization. So one aspect is mental, the other is not. So how do we learn? Usually there's basically a first approach where we're learning the rules. We're learning the parameters. We're learning the concepts. And we try to approach it in a sense that can be understood. So then that's the second part. It'll be understanding. So we learn something, then we try to understand it. Obviously, the more complex the thing we're trying to understand, the more we have to break it down into smaller parts just to make it digestible, so to speak. So first, we learn the theory, then we try to understand it, and then finally, we must do it. Because if we don't do it, we don't know it. That's 100%. So if it only remains in theory, theory is all well and good, but it just remains a little bit flatter on the surface, and we don't get a deeper understanding until we actually do. So doing is fundamental. But there is another step to it, isn't there? There's the realization. So we'll get into that in a second. So let's say we're learning chess. So first we need to learn all the pieces. Okay, so there's X amount of pieces. Each piece moves in a specific way, so we're still in the theory. And then they can only do certain things at certain times. So we're learning more complex rules. And then there's theories about the openings, the middle game, the end game. So we're still in the realm of theory. So we're learning all these aspects. And then at some point, we try to understand, okay, why does it do it like this? Okay, when we understand this, then we must try to play a game. That's the only way. So we try to play it, and then we realize how little we actually do know because we start losing all the time. So then we practice and get better. Everything is like this. Whether it's skiing, drumming, playing the piano, painting, I guess astronomics, I don't know if you have to go into space, but it would help probably if you did. So basically we learn, then we try to understand, and then we must practice. That's fairly easy, and we all know this. But a lot of people don't do the practice. Not really. So they love the theory. Some people are very mentally gifted. So they learn the theory and they know all the theory and they can name the books and the authors and the videos they've watched, but they actually never done it. They don't know what it feels like to do it. Whatever it is, it. So theory is great. You need it, but doing is as important, if not more. It becomes more important than theory after a while. So what's this realization? In my opinion, realization is about, it's closer to wisdom. So it's knowing the theory, it's understanding the theory, it's applying it, but as you apply it over time, you start getting a deeper insight into what it is that you're doing. And that's when you start reaching slowly the master levels. And this is in everything. There are masters at in any type of human activity. But there are not a lot of them. So that's fundamental. And then to really master, there's something that we call sometimes in the spiritual realm like enlightenment or being a saint, which is kind of the top levels, so to speak. But that is, we don't know how that happens. Nobody really knows. Religious beliefs say you got to do step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And a lot of people do that and nothing happens. They get better people. They become better people for sure, but it's not a guarantee. So that aspect of ultimate realization is mysterious. Some people call it grace. We're graced by something and everything just comes together and there's a full understanding, or there's an opening, or whatever it is we want to call it. Words are very limiting. So the fundamental aspects here is to understand the difference between understanding and realization. They're not the same thing. A lot of people just stop at the first level and they become arrogant sometimes, yeah? Oh, I'm a professor, I know this, I've read this. They can start citing all these philosophers by heart. This is the book, this is the page number even. Great. How do they apply this to their own lives daily? Or do they? Because otherwise you just become a babbling fool. A savant, as we call him. Somebody that is able to babble things, but they have no personal experience of any kind. And so that brings a little bit of arrogance. Sometimes. It can, at least. I think when you get realization, you combine all these elements, and out of that comes wonder, amazement. Grace is the perfect word. And the resulting is just a deep sense of humility. Because how can you be arrogant when you realize that you know nothing about anything, really? Understanding the deeper essence of life is very rare. And so when we can see that we don't know anything, there's a sense of humility. There's a sense of tranquility as well, openness. So that's it for today. I hope this was useful, enjoyable, and I'll see you next Friday. And next Friday I'll talk about depression, which seems to be pretty widespread in this moment in time in our modern societies. Men and women seem to get depressed. So we'll look at that. See you next week. Bye.